BWYellowJackets.com. I'm Brendan Gulick with head coach Brian Rector of our men's tennis program as we get ready for the OAC Tournament here this week. OAC quarterfinals coming up on Tuesday, and then should the Yellow Jackets continue on, play down in Cincinnati later this weekend. But Coach, we've got a chance to kind of look back on what we've accomplished so far and look ahead on the future here for the Yellow Jackets this upcoming week. Why don't we start by looking in the rearview mirror? It's been a good season. Out of conference, you had a whole bunch of matches that you've come out on top. Where has this team measured up to your expectations coming into the year?
Well, actually, they've exceeded the expectations already, based on what you said. The out-of-conference schedule we had this year we knew it was going to be a little bit challenging for the level of team that we had, which is what we wanted. By winning all but one of the matches, that obviously the goal, but we had some tough ones that we squeaked out 5-4, a couple down south. So in that respect, it was exceeding the expectations.
The conference is always tough, right? And I think we're seeing that. There really haven't been too many lopsided matches all across the OAC. You've had some good matches with John Carroll and with Ohio Northern. Mount Union's had a tough program. Otterbeins continue to be good. How happy, I guess, are you with where the Yellow Jackets have competed this year in the confines of the OAC?
Sure. I think we've competed well. I think the end result in a couple of the matches didn't reflect that, but as a coach being around long enough, I'm very excited about how well we competed. The good news is, from a conference perspective, is that we've got our top 5 teams. Any one of those 5 teams on any given day could win the OAC this year. So that's the good news, I guess, from a conference perspective. We are certainly in the mix. We're going to be one of the top 5 teams. We're hoping to duplicate the basketball feat on going on the road 3 times and potentially winning that way. But I'm very happy with how we've competed, and the conference is very very difficult this year.
I wasn't going to start with him, but since you went the basketball route, let's talk about Jake Gelman. He's had a pretty nice season for you, and I'm interested, as he's played in both doubles and singles matches, where he's kind of taken that next step for you this year.
Sure. Yeah, Jake, again, being a dual sport athlete, he is very conditioned. So going the doubles and singles route in the tennis match, and he seems to go those 3 setters. He's out there for a while. But I think he prefers it. I think he likes to wear down the opponent, from a tennis perspective. For a big guy, he's got some of the softest hands at the net, and his volley and net game, I think, are big strengths for him. That he doesn't use as much as I'd like him to. Hopefully he can hear this. But no, he definitely has improved in that respect, and I think that, like I said, the dual sport, I think, is a good asset for him.
Well, there's no doubt this year the team has been led again by Matt Harris and Dominic Polifrone. They've had a heck of a run as a doubles pair, and also have played very well in their singles matches. I'd love for you to tell me a little bit about their journey this year.
Sure. Well, after being the top doubles team in the conference last year, obviously they had a target on their back or front, depending on how you look at it. They have, as a doubles team, have grown, and I think that's what you hear about chemistry. This is the 3rd year they've played together. If you look back at when they first started, competed in matches, maybe didn't get over the hump in some of the real difficult ones. Last year, every match was difficult. They seemed to exceed that. This year, they're actually dominating some of these bigger matches. Mount Union team that they squeaked by last year. Same 2 teams met yesterday, and 8-3 wasn't really even that close. So I think they're, from a chemistry perspective, they expect to win now, and it's the attitude on the court that I think that's carrying them.
Well, you bring up Mount Union, and it's while it's not official, it certainly looks like the Yellow Jackets are going to play Mount Union in the quarterfinals of the OAC. Does it help? Does it hurt to see a team late in the regular season and then turn around and play them again, in the opening round of the OAC?
Well, we did that last year with Otterbein. We played them on a Saturday, a very difficult match, almost a 4-hour match that we came out on top, and then 3 days later had to play them at home again, and wound up coming down to the final set where our 5th singles player was down a break in the 3rd set, came back and won. So I think this year, it will help us since we were on the losing end of that battle. The whole van ride home, that's kind of where the coach can kind of listen in and see what the feel of the team is, and almost every player will say, here's what I did well, here's what I did wrong, here's what I'm going to do next Tuesday. We kind of figured it was going to be a rematch, so they're already, no time to hang their head and sulk in a loss. They're already planning, for the trip back. So
You mentioned that you feel like any one of the top 5 teams in the league has a chance to win the tournament here this year. What is your team's biggest strength in your opinion, and why do you think the Yellow Jackets can come out on top?
I think our biggest strength is the team aspect. Even though yesterday we had guys that maybe didn't play as well as they would have liked to, the other guys are there picking them up during the match. You can kind of hear we won a match pretty easily at 4 singles this year. Michael Bonatti won 6-0, 6-0 on a match he lost to the same kid last year. As soon as the match was over, or even in between there, he's kind of cheering his teammates on. That maybe he can see aren't doing as well. So I think it's the team aspect. From an individual perspective, I think all the work we've put in practice, we're really keying on our strengths versus weaknesses. So we're trying to be more positive on the court. Even from a coaching perspective, rather than constantly, hey, we got to do this, we got to do this. It's where are your strengths? Let's maximize those, get the confidence level up, and they stop thinking about the weaknesses at that point. And really trying to be the kind of dictate what happens out there versus react.
I like that.
Yeah.
You've been doing this a long time. What's been most memorable to you about this season?
Well, it's not over yet, so
Sure.
I'm hoping next weekend it'll become the most, one of the most memorable. But really, I think it's the 4 seniors that I have. Seeing them grow. We only graduated 1 last year, so it was a little bit different. The juniors are really kind of pushing the team. But we have these name cards, that we use for matches. One of the few schools that do. We actually have the last name of the player on it. We put on the court. Last week in our senior day, the last home match, I kind of thought of something different. Normally we give them out at the award banquet or later if the guys are still around us. But this year, what I'm going to do at last home match senior day, I'm going to give him a card after the match. And I went to give Matt Harris his card, and he said, "Coach, we got another home match that we're going to host in the quarterfinals." I said, "Whoa, you're right. Let me take that back." And so these guys, the seniors, they're really kind of driving the show. They've got ducks in a row, and they're again, it always comes down to execution on game day. So I think that's, for me, so far the memories are going to be the seniors and how they've led the team this year.
Well, it's a nice touch that the class is that locked in and ready to go for tournament time. Certainly looking forward to what is hopefully a long and fruitful week. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.